Kelly is going to be a star, and the only way you're a star, no matter how you look or feel or talk, is when you make good deals. Okay, I found that out over the years. You got to make good deals, otherwise it's over. And she's going to make great deals. I was with her now for 3 days, and she's developed incredible relationships in a very short period of time, and we appreciate it. And you'll be out there, you'll be in the firing line today, for instance. I just heard, well, while I'm coming up here, they have a whistleblower, another whistleblower. And he turned out to be a fake. He's a fake. Highly partisan whistleblower. The lawyers contributed to Biden, they contributed, the whole thing is, but more importantly, you know what the whistleblower was? The same letter that we announced yesterday, which was perfect. I couldn't have written it better if I wrote it myself. I could not have said or had a better conversation. And we had a really nice gentleman in, the president of Ukraine yesterday. And he was good. And they said, was he pressuring you? These animals in the press, they're animals. They're actually some of the worst human beings you'll ever meet.
Thank you.
They're scum. Many of them are scum. And you have some good reporters, but not many, I'll be honest with you. But, and that's one of the things we battle. And you'll find out. But they'll probably like you better than they like me. But I had to get us here, right?
Right.
But they're total, just terrible, dishonest people. And they couldn't figure out, what do we say bad about this conversation? Then it turns out that they had senators, Democrat senators, that went over there and strong-armed the guy. You better damn well do this or you're not going to get any money from Congress. Oh, I see, that's okay. And then you have Sleepy Joe Biden, who's dumb as a rock. This guy was dumb on his best day. And he's not having his best day right now. He's dumb as a rock. So you have Sleepy Joe, and he goes up, and his kid, who's got a lot of problems, got thrown out of the Navy for problems. I mean, look, I'm not gonna, it's a problem. That's a problem. So we won't get into why and all that. But he got thrown out of the Navy. And now this kid goes into Ukraine, walks away with millions of dollars, and he becomes a consultant for $50,000 a month. And he doesn't know anything compared to anybody in this room, okay? He's a stiff. He knows nothing. He's walking away with 50,000, or as you would say in the old days, 50K a month. Right?
Not bad.
Not bad. Would anybody else in this room like to represent the Ukraine for 50,000? That's on top. You got the check. That's on top of hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. But that's not the best one. The best one is China. This came up. So now he goes to China, and I was with the head of Blackstone, which is the big deal, Steve Schwarzman. I said, Steve, is that possible? No. Why? Who got that? Who got that? I said, Biden's son. Oh, well then, he says, maybe I should get involved. If it was very political, right? I say, Steve, what happens when you come off a vice presidential plane, it's called Air Force Two, your father's with you, you walk into a room in China, and they give you a fund of $1.5 billion, you make hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars off that. And that's probably not all they gave plenty more, I'm sure. We might never find out. And then they talk about me and I didn't do anything. I don't know if I'm the most innocent person in the world. But you look at that, most presidential. Like I said, I'm the most presidential except for possibly Abe Lincoln when he wore the hat. That was tough to beat. Honestly, when he wore that hat, that was tough to beat. But I can't do that. That hat wouldn't work for me. He was a I had better head. But honestly, it was tough to beat. Remember, we used to do that during the campaign. They used to say, when I'd speak, the crowd would be crazy. I'd go crazy. We'd all go crazy. We'd have a lot of fun together, right? We'd have 25,000. We've never had an empty seat. From the day I came down the escalator with a potential unbelievable woman who became a first lady. We've never had, and they do, the crowds love her, the people love her, but we've never had an empty seat, not one. I really believe that. There was one case where we had a tremendous snowstorm. It was just about frozen, massive. It was like a monstrous storm. I don't even know how it got there. I said, how's the crowd? It's just about full, sir. I said, what does that mean? Like there's about 2 seats on top. Thousands and thousands of people couldn't get there. So they show pictures of the empty seats. They don't say there's the worst storm they've had in years. They show pictures of like 9 empty seats together. It could have been people just went to the bathroom together, right? But we've never, and I always say, I just say, get the biggest arena. Good location if you can, but get the biggest arena. We did it the other night, Tuesday night. We had 2 congressmen. One was possibly going to win. He was up by 2. He won by about 27, I think, or something like that, a lot. The other one was down by 17, and they said, sir, don't campaign for him, please. Why? Because if he loses, they're going to kill you, the press. I said, they're going to kill me whether I campaign or not. It's not going to matter. It'll make it a little bit worse. You know, they'll say he worked and he failed. Trump failed. The guy was down 17 points, and he ended up winning by a lot. You know, he ended up winning by a lot. In fact, the whole night, CNN, we built the most beautiful $2 million maybe they spent. No wonder they're losing their rest. They have no ratings and they're building studios all over the place. But they had a studio. The studio was going to stay up for weeks. And toward the end of the night, they were taking it down. The so-called stars were leaving. They had stars. They don't have many stars up there. They have less than such. But they were taking the stars were leaving. And they didn't want to report it. But the candidate, Dan Bishop, won by a lot. He was down by 17, and they had lines a mile long. I mean, the lines going into those voting booths were unbelievable. And without the rally speech and a couple of tweets, the Twitter stuff is good. We have, like, way over 100 million people on 6 or 7 different platforms. It's actually much higher than that, even higher than just about everybody. And it helps, it helps. They have signs oftentimes when I speak. It said, please keep this woman the other night, beautiful woman, she's got a sign. Please keep tweeting, sir, it matters. And it does matter, because we get our voice out. You know, if we don't do that, we don't get the voice. I can't say what a great job Kelly's doing. And I can't say what a wonderful husband she had. Look at how devoted he is. He's a rich man, too. He's loaded. What are you doing here? Why are you working? He's so proud of his wife, he can't leave his office. That's really great, though, huh? It's good. You are proud of her? He said very much. And he's really a fantastic guy. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. Before I met Kelly, I met Joe. And Joe impressed me because of his knowledge of energy. Now, he could be paid. Okay. You're going to pay a guy $50? Now, he wouldn't take it. For him, that's not quite good enough, although he might. He might. It's easy money, Joe, you have to say, right? But he would be an expert on energy. He'd be a real expert, and he would be somebody that you spare a lot of money to, but not Biden's son. So the whistleblower came out and said nothing. Said a couple of people told me he had a conversation with Ukraine. We're in a war. These people are sick. They're sick. And nobody's called it out like I do. I don't understand. People are afraid to call it out. They're afraid to say that the press is crooked. We have a crooked press. We have a dishonest media. So now they're devastated, but they'll always find something. I'm sure there'll be something they'll find in this report that will suit their eye. But basically, that person never saw the report, never saw the call, meaning never saw the call, heard something, and decided that he or she, whoever the hell it is, sort of like almost a spy. I want to know who's the person that gave the whistleblower, who's the person that gave the whistleblower the information? Because that's close to a spy. You know what we used to do in the old days when we were smart, right? With spies and treason, right? We used to handle it a little differently than we do now. Now you have guys like little Adam Schiff defending you. Little Adam. He says, that's all right. That name's stuck. Now he's got a neck, it's about this big, and he's got shirts that are too big because you can't buy shirts that small. He was never a coal miner, Joe, let's put it that way. I don't think he worked in the mines, do you think? I don't think so. These miners come out, we love our miners, so they come out, they have hands on them, they shake, I love you, sir, I love you, sir. But we gave them back their jobs. They were dead. And you know, Hillary came in just before West Virginia, says, no, we want the miners, we're going to retrain them. And they'll be doing. Can you imagine a miner with, you know, massive arms, shoulders, they love what they're doing, sticking in a line, little tiny widgets. They're putting little tiny computer parts together. This big, strong, and they don't want to be doing that. And I said to them, it's the only time they ever got angry at me, I said to them, fella, supposing, is there any truth? Supposing we take you out of that business and we do retrain you and you go into technology, okay? They almost threw up all over the place. And it's a funny thing, to me, I call it dangerous and rough stuff, but it's become much safer. In Australia now, they have no black lung disease. They really got all of that dust out of there. They've done a fantastic job. We're copying that system. We give credit where credit is due. But it's incredible. But, they were talking about retraining these guys. By the way, I was thinking about it too. I'd walk in and I look at these big rough guys. I said, no, they don't want to do that. And I said, well, would you want that? Would you want any retraining? And the one guy looks at me and says, sir, my great-grandfather was a miner. My grandfather, my father, and I'm a miner, and we love our life. We want to dig coal. That's what we want to do, sir. We don't want anything else. We want to just dig coal. It's true. You couldn't, if I said I'm going to give you an apartment on Fifth Avenue, you come with me, you're going to have a great time in New York, they would say, no, thank you. It's just the way it is, That's their life. That's what they want. They love it. They don't want to do anything different, and I understand it. I'm the only fool that decided to do something. I had a great life. And then I said, let's run for president and straighten this country out. And we've been hit harder than anybody in history. Good job. I'll tell you one thing I've taught people, though. No rich guy's ever going to run for politics, I can tell you. If anybody did this, I don't think they're going to run. But I love doing it, and I guess I love it because we've made so much progress, and you're really a big part of it. And our Deputy Permanent Representative, Ambassador Jonathan Cohen, may be here. Jonathan, where's Jonathan? Is he here? I just wanted to doing a good job, right? I hear everybody saying what a good job he's doing. So Jonathan, thank you. Good luck. Do well. You got plenty to work on, Jonathan. We have plenty of, I call them points of confliction, right? Points of confliction. But you don't realize how important you are. What you do, you make it all possible. And I've always said about the United Nations, it has more potential than any institution that I've ever dealt with. It really does. It hasn't lived up to its potential. It's starting to more. I think one of the reasons it is because I feel that way. I will use the United Nations to our benefit as a country. And because I'm doing it, others are doing it, and we're sort of getting together and doing things differently. And Nikki did a great job, and Kelly's going to do a great job. And it's very important. This position is so important. So important. It's another thing that I think was underrated, that the importance of your position. I think it was very underrated. But you have the right person in that position. But the United Nations is going to finally live up to its potential. It's really got something. And I like your Secretary General. He's really working hard. He's always on the ball. He's always there if you need him. I really like him. So I think he has, I think he has the stuff, the right stuff, as they'd say, right? As they said, a couple of very good movies. But I just came over this morning. I wanted to thank you. I wanted to congratulate you. I wanted to congratulate Jonathan and Kelly. And I didn't know Joe was going to be here, but I'm happy to see you, Joe. And you folks are fantastic, and just keep it going. We've got it really rocking. We're looking good. We're looking good for another 4 years, and then we drive it. And what I'll say is I have a certain group of reporters that say, we're looking good for another 4 years, and then if we want to, another 4, maybe another 5. And they go crazy. Just watch out, Bill Maher. He goes and looks at somebody like that. He goes, you know he's going to win, don't you? To some idiot that he's interviewing. He says, you know he's going to win. No, I think you know he's going to win. And you know he's not leaving, don't you? And the guy's going, what do you mean? He's not leaving. He's not leaving after. And I thought he was kidding. He's been serious. So, did anybody ever see the Time magazine? Well, we have it 2020, 2024, 2028, 2032. In other words, we do that to drive them freaking crazy. So, I just want to thank you. Congratulations to Kelly and Jonathan and everybody in this room. You make it work, and it's so important. And it's called world peace, and we got to have it. We'll have it. We're going to have it. We have a lot of good things going, tremendous things. Problems with India and Pakistan, big. Problems with North Korea, we're doing all right. We have a pretty good relationship going there. I'll tell you, we have a good relationship going. But we have a lot of great things going, and you make it possible. Thank you very much, everybody.